Welcome back to Newsroom. I'm Chella Smith with your Middle East U.S. entertainment news, and we're free. I air on Fridays. This is subject to change depending on what my schedule is. I bring you the latest on reforms and economics of Iraq based on reports put out by the Middle East news media outlets. I do this weekly review, and it's based off my interests. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Let's take a look at headlines. Iraq's North Oil Company, the NOC, is preparing oil wells in Kirkuk governance and boost production before handing over the fields to the British energy giant BP for development. The company's field division is executing a drilling and rehabilitation plan, aiming to complete each site within 3 weeks. The NOC is also laying pipelines and completing connections for well Baya Hassan 198 through 199 with a target completion within a month. And Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani has directed a package of measures to develop electronic payment systems and services with a focus on ensuring financial transparency and risk management. The directives include establishing a national budget for digital payment systems, preparing for electronic cash flow statements, and establishing strategic partnerships and financial institutions and technological institutions. Financial and banking institutions are also required to develop anti-money laundering and anti-fraud systems and adopt cyber protection systems. The directive also calls for the establishment of specialized units within the State Department to facilitate electronic payment settlements. Parliament has requested that the Finance and Central Bank of Iraq to set a timetable for transitioning to electronic payments by the end of 2024. The decision to establish the National Company for Electronic Payment Systems in Iraq is seen as a step towards the development of Iraqi's financial system. The committee has also emphasized the importance of combating corruption and implementing electronic payments in the government department and public traffic. Baker Hughes, a global oil and gas company, is preparing to sign a strategic agreement with Iraqi Ministry of Oil. The company, one of the world's 4 largest energy and oil service company, is keen to expand investments in Iraq, particularly through the cooperation with the government or the private sector. The Iraqi market is promising, and the government is planning major projects in oil, gas, and petrochemical sector. Baker Hughes delegation confirms their commitment to the government and their desires to financial projects inside of Iraq. Speaking about oil, Iraq's oil exports to America increased to over 200,000 barrels per day, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. The average U.S. crude oil exports from 9 major countries decreased from 5.608 million to 4.876 million barrels per day. And you can find more of this on Patreon as a Tier 1 subscriber. And the Kurdistan Regional Prime Minister Mauser Barzani and the Central Bank of Iraq's Governor Ali Mohsen Al-Alaq discussed the progress of the Kurdistan Regional's banking reforms and the My Account project, which aims to digitize salary payments for public sector employees. They emphasized the importance of continued collaboration and accelerated financial inclusion. And the central bank is set to issue new decisions for foreign exchange prices and trades within Iraq, potentially rising dollar exchange rates in parallel markets due to currency scarcity. This aims to reduce smuggling of currencies and its monopolies in the hands of weak individuals. The decision is expected to cause confusion and increase exchange rates. And the Kurdish leader, Mauser Barzani, has urged dialogue and understanding between the Iraqi federal government and the Kurdistan regional government to resolve differences. During a meeting with high-level delegations from federal government, Barzani praised President Barzani's role in building the new Iraq and struggles against dictatorship. He emphasizes the importance of trust and transparency in resolving problems and overcoming obstacles. Barzani has also praised Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani's efforts in addressing the difference and emphasizes the need for good intentions and commitment to constitutional and political arguments. Iraq's financial revenues in the federal budget for the past 7 months has exceeded 77 trillion dinars, with oil accounting for 89% of the budget. The country's economic problems stem from failed regimes to diversify the economy and create employment opportunities. The country's dependence on oil puts it at a risk of global crisis and hinders effective management of state funds and finding alternative financing solutions. Iraqi government has approved a new strategy for bank lending, aiming to attract investors and financially nearly 100,000 projects. The strategy aims to improve the business environment, attract investors, and increase non-oil GDP credited by 2029. And Rafidian Bank has identified 3 advantages of electronic payment system: flexibility, speed, remote management, and rapid spread. These systems allow users to pay bills, collect dues, and manage digital commercial projects from various locations. These also facilitate efficient connections and networking, enable quick and efficient transactions. The U.S. Embassy in Iraq confirms an attack on diplomatic facilities in Baghdad, resulting into no casualties. The Joint Operation Command confirms an explosion at Baghdad International Airport, occupied by international coalition advisors. The security and intelligence forces are investigating the cause and will provide facts at a later time. It is said by the Washington Post reports on the U.S. and Iraq have reached an agreement on plans for the withdrawal of coalition forces from Iraq, with hundreds of forces expected to leave by September 2025 and the rest by the following year. The U.S. has about 2,500 troops in Iraq and 900 in Syria as part of the coalition established in 2014 to fight the Islamic State. And you've been watching Newsroom Weekly Review. I'm Chella Smith with your Middle East U.S. entertainment news on reforms and economics of Iraq. I bring you the Dinar news without having to keep up with all the different outlets. I'm here every Friday, and those dates could change, so don't forget to subscribe and turn those notification bells on. If you like my content, give me a thumbs up. If you really like my content, you can always share this content with your family, friends, and groups, so that way people know where we are for the time being. Again, thank you for being a subscriber, and thank you for visiting Newsroom Chella Smith for your trusted Dinar news. I'll see you guys. Take care. Make sure you join us Fridays, 4 p.m. with Newsroom Updates with Chella Smith Entertainment News.